Okay. Why I quit my job. I quit my job for two reasons: sanity and peace. My job was not bringing me sanity. It was not giving me peace. It was pissing me off. I was on fire all the time. And honestly, my job was really laid back doing collections. It was pretty easy going. It had a great work life balance. It was a very flexible schedule, but I could not deal with the constant harassment I endured from my manager. When I tell you this man harassed me, this man harassed me. Okay, when I first started there, I believe it was like 3 months into the job, me and my district manager discussed how we were gonna work around my school schedule because they really wanted me to graduate on time for possible promotions. And we had came up with the conclusion that I would be off on Wednesdays and Thursdays as those were my submission days for school. So I'm like, okay, this is fine. I can deal with that. I can work around this. This is great. I started the job. My manager, me, and the district manager sat down. We talked about what was already discussed and laid out and how he was going to put that into play. He was like, yeah, I got it. It's good. A month into the job, all of a sudden he starts playing with my schedule. My off days are like all over the place. He's forcing me to go to stores 2 and 3 hours away from my house instead of, I mind you, I'm supposed to be doing collections. He's forcing me to go to stores 2 and 3 miles away from my house, 2 and 3 hours away from my house to sell. I'm like, I don't even, what? I didn't even know what I was doing. That's when I knew he was doing it on purpose because I was over there fucking stuff up. People was walking away with shit they didn't even pay for. Like, I was doing terrible. Mostly because I didn't know what I was doing. I was never trained in that. It was so different than the sales department where, near the collection center that I worked at. So I was just lost. So his goal was to try and get me to flunk school, and it worked. I ended up getting dropped from like 6 courses. I had to do a whole nother 6 months all over again, all because he was playing with my schedule, calling me in on my off days and threatening to fire me if I didn't show up. That was strike one. Strike two, he started harassing me. Like, if I had to, I got a sty, my eye was swollen shut. I sent him a picture, I let him know that I wasn't going to be there. Then he asked why, and I'm like, normally they're not supposed to ask why. You just bring in the note because they're not supposed to know your business. It goes against HIPAA. But I sent him the picture of my eye anyway to let him know. I get to work 2 days later, and Heaston showed all of my coworkers the picture. They all were talking about it in their private group chat with the assistant managers and him. And they let me know basically what he was saying. I was so mad. I was like, I'm gonna calm down, but I'm gonna keep all these text messages because I had them send me the text messages so I will have proof for when I report him. Strike number three. A few months after that, I had ended up going on leave due to my PTSD. I went on leave, and they actually forced me to leave early. I was supposed to wait an extra month before going on leave to start therapy, and they forced me to leave immediately. And I was at work in the middle of my shift, and he was like, oh, he told everybody, oh, she's not coming back. I'm going to get rid of her. Watch what I do. You're never going to see her again. You're never going to hear from her. They showed me the text messages, all the stuff he said. I even have voice recordings of this man. Skipping back to 3 months later, it was about October. October comes. I was supposed to be returning to work. So I sent the little message letting them know that I'll be returning shortly. My therapy is done because it was only supposed to be for about 4 or 5 months. My leave of absence specialist was like, oh, well, I talked to your managers, aka my manager Humpty Dumpty and the district manager Kiss Ass. And she was like, well, Kiss Ass has allowed Humpty Dumpty to replace you. But I'm like, I called before even trying to return to ensure that they hadn't replaced me just yet because I was on non-FMLA. And they said that they hadn't hired anyone. They'd actually just fired 3 people. So they had 4 or 5 open positions. Humpty Dumpty was winning. But oh, Humpty Dumpty was not going to win for long. So I actually decided to do the prolonged therapy, which meant going back. And 2 weeks into me starting back therapy, I got this letter stating that, oh, well, you've been with the company long enough. You now qualify for FMLA. You know what that meant, Humpty Dumpty? Me being patient. The tortoise. I won, okay? The camera almost fell. But I won. So basically, now my position was secured. So I decided to continue my extended therapy from October all the way to January. And then I came back to work. And I lost in that bitch like I owned the place. And he was so mad. I heard him talking shit about me in the break room. He was like, who the fuck allowed her back? How did she get in here? And he called the district manager. The district manager was like, oh, well, I didn't know until yesterday that she was starting back. And you know what? I became close friends with my regional manager because he loved my work ethic, how I showed up to work on time early and took everybody else's shifts when they would all call out. Because literally we're a call center, a small call center. It's like 5-10 people, and the entire staff will call out and it'd just be me all day. It was ridiculous. But anyways, he loved my work ethic, so he let me come back without even telling them. So I was like, surprise, bitches, I'm back. They were hot. From then on, he started harassing the fuck out of me. He would send me shady text messages. He would have little snarky remarks. And I actually ended up reporting him. I told them about how when I discussed the whole schooling situation with him and how he was trying to purposely mess up my schedule for me to fail, he admitted to it and was like, your schooling is not more important than my sales. I instructed them of how he was sending me to stores without training me just so I would mess up and ruin compliance. I told them about all the situations where he was racially profiling customers, being racist, and harassing people, and sexual harassment as well. And what did they do? Nothing. They didn't do anything. And I told them, I was like, if y'all do not do anything, I will be leaving this job. She was like, you're a great employee. Your work ethic is awesome. And you're the 5th complaint we've got on him this month. Okay, so when are y'all going to do something? They didn't do anything. And I was about to quit. I decided to go ahead and take my vacation days before I quit. And while I was on vacation, I was enjoying it, living it up. And I'm like, hold on, I didn't get paid. I was supposed to be, it was a paid vacation. So I go back to work and I'm like, I didn't get paid on my vacation, but I see that you put the notes in there. You just didn't put the hours. He was like, oh, I must have forgot. I'm like, you forgot 2 weeks in a row. You forgot this week and you forgot last week and you forgot this week. And mind you, I talked to him about last week prior. So I'm like, how did you forget this week after we just talked about it 2 hours ago? I think about 4 days later, I finally got paid and I quit 3 days later. I was tired of it. I was sick of getting harassed. And when I tell you this man was harassing, this man was harassing. This is Humpty Dumpty Part 1. Depending on the likes, you'll get Humpty Dumpty Part 2.